tape was apron, making it hard to open. I tore off the uneven wrapping paper with its bright and annoyingly colorful happy birthday letters printed all over, littered with smiling cartoon faces reflecting mood I didn't feel. When the last shred of paper ripped away, I stopped. It was a limited edition DVD set of The Last Love Song. It came with the all-important bracelet in the story, and I wanted so desperately to have it, but it was too late to buy it. They were all sold out. The only way my brothers could have bought it was for a price that was double the amount and sold for in stores. For me? Save, because someone wants to talk to me? Ish. I choked out the words, breaking my vow of silence for the rest of the day. My brother smiled and held up my bus card. Get dressed. We have to line up. For what? You don't know? The writer for the book is doing an autograph session in the mall tonight. Let's go get it signed. I hesitated. There'd be a lot of people, more specifically, a lot of young teenage girls. I looked at my brother, the one with too much pride to ever turn me to... Darn it, Henry! I'm trying to record here. Avery admitted to watching the trip. Hopefully he won't... Damn! I looked at him, the one who was so fiercely embarrassed about it that he made me take an oath never to tell any of our friends. You'll be the only guy there. So? Your friend works in the mall. He'll see you. I don't care. He lied. Of course he cared, but today was different. Today was my birthday, and he was determined to make it just a little less bad than it already was. Oh, that douchebag of a dad! That douchebag! But I don't know the circumstances, though. But that douchebag, I'm still gonna call him a douchebag for... He could have at least waited one more day after her birthday. So he's gonna remain a douchebag until further notice. We took the bus to the mall where we waited in line for 4 hours. He stood out like a sore thumb, one of the very few guys in the line of giggling girls. He waited patiently beside me the whole time, and when I got my DVD signed, I finally cried. When I woke up and found myself in the same strange place again, I knew for sure something was wrong. I wasn't waking up. Time didn't feel real here, but somehow I knew it was taking far too long for a normal dream. This dream had trapped me inside until I could remember my name. I experienced a few more memories, once by myself and with my parents. I woke up each time alone and in a different place. It was hard and hard for me to stick to my brother, but the memories were pleasant enough that I didn't feel too afraid while going under. 13 was around sometimes, but he talked to fill the silence and it tired me. He was more in tune with my brother, and more often than not I found them together in the studio mixing something on their equipment. I hung around, but I usually felt left out. We shared the same world of music that I could never be a part of, and it was lonely. I wouldn't stay long. Sometimes I ran into Seven. She learned quickly that I didn't like talking, but instead of feeling awkward, she simply smiled and pulled out some yarn. The clicking of her yarn needles filled the empty silence, giving me a sense of peace. We didn't need to talk, although sometimes she listened to my memories and tell me hers. I liked to be next to her. She was homely and warm. She understood without me having to say anything. You know, I have 2 children too. She spoke once while I was half dozing next to her and made small sounds to let her know I was listening. When I see your brother, I remember more about them. Her knitting paused for a moment, and her silence felt contemplative. That's the nice thing about memories here. They're things you never take the time to notice until you get to see them again. So that's why she disappeared that time. She saw me and my brother and must have remembered something. We fell back into companionable silence, she knitting and me dozing next to her. How long have you been here, Seven? I finally asked, my voice sounding drowsy. My brother was right. You don't really sleep, you just fade out of consciousness. It's the closest thing to sleeping in this place. A long time. Her name slowed a little, but she continued to talk. As long as I don't want to leave my children, I won't wait. Your children? Are they here too? I tried to ask, but I was too comfortable dozing next to her. I slipped out of consciousness with this question still on my tongue. Following the building, it had a hallway filled with bedrooms and a floor filled with rooms all over the place that changed to fit your interests. You could leave the building if you wished. It sat on the hill that 13 once circled around 8 times trying to find its way back. The hill was the field where I woke up the first time, the one with Earth looming over in the sky. I found my brother there, looking up at the Earth that threatened to fall onto us. What do you think this place is? He asked me without turning his eyes away from Earth. Being outside still made me feel dizzy, like the Earth pulled me up from the ground and throw me helplessly towards it. Gathering my courage, I half crawled over to him and sat down firmly, grabbing onto the grass for good measure. I thought about my answer. A dream. Why? Huh. This is most likely answer for the dream part. People disappear unexpectedly, no one seems to mind. Looked at him and wondered how long we've been apart since the last few memories. It happens in dreams. You're with someone and they turn into a different person and they just disappear. You don't question it, do you? No. He freed finally, still sounding doubtful. Still, I haven't seen anyone turn to someone else. Even if they disappear, we know it's sort of the same thing. You're just experiencing a memory. It even happens to us. I've never been the one who disappeared in my dreams. Maybe you have, you just don't know it. Disappearing here means entering memory, right? So whenever your dream changes, you're the one to disappear. It's more than just that. Don't you feel lighter here? My brother hesitated before nodding. Also, it's like my senses are dulled. I feel some things, where the others I don't feel at all. Yeah, I don't have felt cold or hungry or anything painful. Or gone to the bathroom, I guess. If you didn't eat or drink. Exactly, just like a dream. My thoughts back to the sky, I gestured the large, cold face of Earth with my chin. And that, where else would you see something like that except in a dream? True, there's no way you can have a planet this large and this close without being pulled in each other's gravitational orbiting. Doesn't make sense, that's why it's a dream. We fell silent, my brother still standing straight and gazing up at Earth, me plucking absently at the grass and ignoring the sky. I'm not so sure about that. He finally whispered more to himself than to me. As a child, my punishment was always getting locked in the closet. The first time I was put in there, I screamed until my throat was raw. I couldn't see anything, the space was cramped and small. Wow. 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 Really? People can develop traumas from that. I'm just gonna keep lying. It felt like I was suffocating slowly. Walls kept growing smaller. I screamed to kick at the door and cried until I had no energy left, and then I just sobbed uncontrollably. It never got better. Oh yeah, he is a D-bag. No, you don't do that. People can seriously suffer trauma from that. Seriously. It could be from darkness or getting, what's the one when you're cramped in small areas? But phobia. Phobia is not the right word, but, you know. Yeah, and he's definitely being labeled a douchebag. My dad had to drag a hair in me in. I fought with everything I had not to be locked inside. I always screamed, I always cried. The suffocating feeling was always there, and each time I truly believed I would die. Why should that have changed? The darkness in the small, cramped space never did. One day, I fought with my brother. Angry and too young to know any better, I scratched him. His arm bled a little, and I was put in the closet. Once I was inside, I screamed, this time with pure terror. It didn't matter how much I apologized. I was to be in the closet until my punishment time was up. I sobbed and screamed and cried until my throat was dry and raw. After a while, someone knocked on the door. It was my brother. Are you okay? It's just supposed to be a little girl, so I can't. Eh. I sobbed loudly and replied, "The walls are crushing me. Darkness suffocating me. It's okay. It's okay." His voice was so near, I hung onto it desperately, and even though my body didn't stop shaking, I felt just a little bit better. "Don't be scared. I'm here." He was asking the impossible. Long after I grew up and was told to be punished, I would always be scared of small spaces. I would always be afraid of the walls and the darkness and the space where I couldn't move and breathe and think and scream. "I'm here." He patted the door as if he was patting my head. I started crying again, wishing I was outside and safe. He kept patting the door, hoping it will make me feel better, succeeding just a little. "It'll be okay. I'm here." For the first time since I came to this place, I saw a memory that frightened me. First I looked for my brother, and when I couldn't find him, I went to Seven. She listened to me and patted my head gently, just like what my brother did to the closet door. "You have a good brother." Her voice was soft and comforting me. I felt relieved, but a little lonely at the same time. She reminded me of home. "I know." She smiled at my answer before returning to her knitting, a distant, thoughtful look on her face. I watched as she knitted, her expression clearing as if she finally realized something. It wasn't long before she disappeared into a memory when I was left alone again. If I didn't know better, I would think that she's their mother, but wouldn't they have recognized her? This time it was my brother who was looking for me. He found me outside, lying on the grass to stop myself from falling up. He sat beside me and looked at me strangely. "I thought you hated it up here." "I don't hate it. It just scares me a little." "Then why are you out here by yourself?" "Because when I'm out here, I don't feel like I'm suffocating." He fell silent. After a while, he scooted over and lay down next to me. "The closet?" I nodded, my throat tightening at the thought. "I'm here." It had been a long time since he had to say that. I swallowed back my tears and smiled. "I know." We looked up at the earth, the clouds swirling slowly on its surface. It was so impressively detailed, so real, so very much alive. Even if I was afraid of it, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. "Why do you think it's Earth in the sky?" "What do you mean?" "It could be anything up there, but it's Earth." I mulled over his question. "You sound as though you already have a theory." "I do." He paused for a moment, glancing at me before looking back up. "I think he's telling us we're no longer there." "As in that you're dead and this is heaven, or limbo, right?" I swallowed back my smile, realizing from his tone that he wasn't just stating the obvious. As you can see, I'm picking choices that I would most likely... I'm not trying to get the best ending, the worst ending, I'm just picking naturally. I'm gonna try to get those other endings. Excuse me. On my own time, because there's only so much reading I can do. And I don't want to spoil everything. I'm gonna have you guys see for yourselves when you find out the rest. Remember that. What are you trying to say? He hesitated, like it was difficult for him to say. When he finally spoke, he sounded careful, like he was choosing his words not to upset me. "I don't think this is just a dream." "And I don't think that's just a dream, Mom." I didn't like where he was going, and I felt my stomach knock uncomfortably. "That's stupid. You don't really believe this is all real, are you?" I sounded more snappish than I intended, and he noticed. Then I was like, "It's just a hunch, okay? But there are things you can't explain just by saying it's a dream." "Like what?" "If this is a dream and we're aware of it, we'll be lucid dreaming. You're supposed to be able to control your dreams. Sometimes you can't, but that's because you're not completely aware of it. I feel quite alert, save for not remembering my name and some things. How about you?" I didn't answer. He was right. I was more alert than I usually was in any dream. In fact, it's the first time I've ever had such a vivid, detailed, and coherent dream. The implications behind his words frightened me. "I wish for some things, like I really want pizza do get food, but it's bland. So it's like eating a cloud or cardboard in a sense. Or Play-Doh. That's a good word, Play-Doh. Because it's a dream. Yeah, but I wish for some other things, and they're not granted. I wish to see Wall even dead. I wish for my friends. The silence stretched between us. I knew his wish didn't come true, because sometimes I wish for the same thing. I wish for people that I couldn't find in this place. People I could only see back home. All of a sudden, the earth didn't seem that close anymore. Right now, it looked so impossibly far away. You were the only person here that I know. His voice was so quiet that I was almost lost to the wind in the sky, but his words stuck in my mind for a long time. Uh-oh. It hurt. Oh. My whole body seared with pain. I couldn't move. Something was pinning me down. Help, I tried to say. My throat was choked up with mucus hair. I couldn't move. This was too small. I couldn't see anything. It was too dark. I tried desperately to move my body, but I couldn't move. Too small. Too cramped. I tried to scream. Help me! Walls were literally crushing me, blinding me with my pain. I never felt such true terror in my life. I want to be outside. What do you say? I scrawled to breathe. All I could do was gasp and choke. My body was shaking with pain and stress. It would choke me, taste like metal. I could smell blood. I could smell metal and dirty gasoline blood. Help! It hurts. Please, don't help me. I swallowed a thick liquid and gasped again, but it came out as a tear I saw. I couldn't breathe. My face was too small. I don't want to die. My flesh was wrecked and desperate, tearing at my throat. I couldn't move. I couldn't tell if it was because I was being crushed by the walls around me, or if I was being crushed by my own sheer terror. Yep, you're dead. And there's that music again. I screamed myself out. My cheeks were completely wet. I wiped them and realized how badly my hands were shaking. A dream. It was just a dream. I didn't recognize it. It was a memory of mine. Just a dream. I'm okay. I'm alright. The door was too tight. I was still gasping for the air. I struggled with my breathing under control as I tried to stop crying. My room was bright and bright, facing the clear corner. I finally understood why. Just like the rooms had changed, getting close inside, my room reflected my wishes. But it didn't give me what I really wanted. I wanted to wake up and go home. Now the emptiness and pure red color that used to come to me made me feel so terrifyingly alone. Unable to stand it any longer, I lost my room. When 5 doors passed my room and knocked, my hands were still trembling and I couldn't stop it. He might not even be inside. There's no schedule in this place, so it hasn't been anyone followed here. He might not even be here anymore. He might be already gone. The thoughts spoke in my mind, screaming through the silence. I fell asleep when my brother opened the door, with the face like something hot and about to drip off. I saw the kiss on my face and nearly grew alert. What happened? May I come in? I stopped more than asked. He stepped aside and let me in. We hadn't shared the same room since I was 6. It was hard to adjust to at first, so he let me sleep in his room when I had nightmares. I couldn't help but remember that as my brother got back into his bed, he rolled over on his side, his back facing me as I crawled under the sheets. I sobbed quietly, the feeling was back against my comforting. In this place where nothing of home could be wished for, no matter how desperately you wanted it, my brother was here. The closet? My brother asked, setting the gentler. The nightmares in the closet never left me, even though it had been many years since. I shook my head, wiping the tears off my face. Worse. Ooh, this is tricky. Should I go for the honest route? The vague route? Well, you weren't exactly dying. I'm gonna say bad dream. But then again, you're I'm gonna, yeah, bad